Welcome students. Today's topic is the cat. It is included West Bengal Board's class 10 syllabus. The cat, this prose is written by Andrew Barton Patterson. Actually he is an Australian poet, journalist and author. He wrote extensively on Australian life. Here he perceives the daily activities of a cat or the daily life of a cat. Here we can see the cat has two types of life, two opposite characters. It shows two opposite characters. When he is in the house, he behaves in a way, and when he is out of the house, his behavior totally changes. So start to read. Most people think that cat is an unintelligent animal. Most people. That means we generally think that cat has no intelligence. It's a fool. Fond of ease and caring little for anything but mice and milk. So here we have a general idea or notion that cat is an unintelligent animal. Number one. Number two, it is fond of ease. Ease means comfort and caring little for anything but mice and milk. It is unintelligent. It likes comfort. And number three, it only cares for his food, that means mice and milk. But a cat has really more character. Here character means personality. Actually a cat has more personality than most human beings, than a human being or than human beings, and gets great deal more satisfaction out of life. And a cat also gets lot of things for his enjoyment, and he relishes his life. He or she, suppose a cat, a male or female, is an athlete. Athlete, the person who takes part in run or jump, in other sports, they are called athlete. And acrobat means a person who entering through difficult physical movement, that means gymnast. An acrobat or a grim fighter. Grim means stiff or strong fighter. He is a brave fighter. So actually a cat, as the writer says, that a cat has many character. Number one, a cat has an athletic spirit. Number two, he has the gesture and personality of a gymnast, or he is also a brave fighter. All day long, the cat loafs about the house. Loafs means roams. The cat in the daytime, during the daytime, a cat wanders from one room to another in other places of the house, take things easy, and he does not care seriously about everything, and allows himself to be pestered by the attention of the people in the house. And he always try to draw the attention of the people of the house. That means the people in the household who the cat wants that they always take care of him or her. To pass the time away, sometimes watches the mouse hole for an hour and two. When the cat becomes bored or by roaming and loafing and pestered, and when he pestered by the people, and in that time he watches a mouse hole. He pretends to catch a mouse, and a cat takes his time for more than 1 hour or 2 hours, just to keep himself from dying of boredom. When he becomes, his life becomes bored, he pretends that he will catch a mice. So he inside is also just in front of a mouse hole. He sits and watches the mouse hole for an hour or two. People get this idea that this sort of thing is at all that holds life for a cat, and we think that it is the life of a cat. A cat likes comfort, he wants mice and mice, and he has no intelligence. But here we can see a cat has lot of of activities and lot of character. But watch him as the shades of evening fall. You can see the cat as he really is. But you can watch the real character. The daytime inside the house, he has one type of character, and when night comes, he goes outside the house, so his character changes. This is the another character of the cat. Now we look at the second unit of the prose. The second unit, when the family sits down to tea, when the evening comes, the family sit down to tea, that means to drink tea and their snacks. In that particular tiffin, the cat puts in an appearance to get his share. In that particular time, the cat also presents himself or herself in that time to take his share, that to get his food. He purrs noisily and rubs himself against the legs of the family members. In that particular time, all the members, when they are sitting on the chair, the cat comes here and he purrs noisily. Purrs is the mews. Purrs mews noisily and prays himself against the legs of the family members. If there is a guest at the table, the cat is particularly civil to him. But if there is a guest present, or if a guest comes to that house and in that particular time guest is present at the dining table, the cat becomes very gentle to the guest, because the guest is why? Because the cat knows here the intelligence of the cat proves here that the cat knows that the guest is likely to have the best of what is offered. What is offered, that means what is prepared, and the guest would be served with the best food. So he becomes very much gentle to the guest to get the best food. Sometimes instead of giving him something to eat, the guest stoops down. Sometimes guest gives the food and sometimes the guest does not give the food. When the guest does not give the food, instead of giving food, and the guest stoops down, bends down and strokes the cat. Strokes means pats the cat and says, poor pushy. The cat soon tires of that. The cat wants food from the guest, but guest does not give him food. Instead of, he only pats or strokes the body of the back of the cat and says, poor pushy. The cat soon tries of it, become tired. He puts up his claws and the cat becomes angry and puts up his claws and quietly but firmly, quietly without any noise, quietly means without any noise, and firmly, stiffly rakes means scratches the guest in the leg. That means he puts his claws and scratches the guest legs. Oh, says the guest. In pain, the guest shouts, oh, the cat stuck his claws into me. And express that the cat stuck his claws into me. The delighted family remarks, but the family members who are also present there, they become very delighted. Isn't it sweet of him? And they remark, isn't it sweet of him? Isn't he intelligent? He proves his intelligence. He wants food, but he did not give him food. Rather, he pat on him. He wants you to give him something to eat. The family member reminded the guest that the cat only wanted food, but you didn't give it. The guest dares not to do what would like to do. It is very important. The guest in that particular time, the guest was in acute pain, so the guest becomes very much angry with the cat, but he did not do what he wants to do because he is a guest, and the family members praises the cat's behavior, so it is not possible for the guest to hurt the cat. So kick the cat out of the window. The guest wants to kick the cat out of the window, but he did not do that. So with tears of rage and pain in eyes, rage means anger and pain in the eyes, he affects means here pretends, he shows or pretends to be very much amused. He was in acute pain, he was suffering in pain, but he hushed up his pain and expressed his delightness. and sorts out a bit of fish from his plate and hands it down. He sorts out, that means takes a bit of fish from his plate and gives it to the cat. The cat gingerly receives it. Gingerly means carefully, without making any noise. Nishabde, carefully and calmly takes the food with a look in his eyes, and the cat looks at the guest's eyes. That says another time. That means the cat wants to say. The cat does not speak, but the cat wants to say another time, my friend, you won't be so slow to understand. My friend refers to the guest. You don't be so slow to understand. That means whenever I will come, immediately gives the food. He parts as he retires to a safe distance from the guest booth before eating his food. He parts as he retires to a safe distance. He parts means mews, and he takes the food and departs from the place and takes shelter in a safe place, and it was far away from the guest booth, because cat is an intelligent animal. He knows that the guest will kick him before eating his food. Now we come to the unit 3. Whenever the family has finished tea, after finishing the tea and gathers round the fire, they gathers round a fireplace to warm themselves up, the cat casually goes out of the room. Now it is very casually the cat goes out of the room. It is the time for the cat to go out of the room. This is the first part of the daytime inside the room. All the activities he has done inside the room. Now the second life, the real life, actually it is the real life of the cat at nocturnal life. That means at night, when the night falls, the cat leaves the house. What does he do? Here it is described. He has been goes out of the room. True life now begins for him. This is not the true life inside the house during the daytime, but at night when the cat is outside the house, it is his true life. True life, he saunters down his own backwards. Saunters means walks in a slow, relaxed manner in the backyard, and in the backyard springs means jump to the top of the fence. There is a fence surrounded the house, so he jumps and sits on the top of the fence, drops slightly down. In the next jump, he drops the other side of the house to the other side. He trots across. Trots means walks casually across and skips to the roof of an empty shed. And he avoids the roof of an empty shed. Under an empty shed, he walks along. His movement becomes lithe. And panther-like. Here, the cat is called the cat, tiger. They all belong to cat family. So his lithe means graceful, beautiful, attractive, like a panther. He walks like a panther, very attractive. His walking becomes very attractive. He looks keenly from side to side. Keenly means agrovore, with lot of intensely. Keenly means intensely from side to side. That means he is very much conscious about some dangers that may happen to him. So while he is walking, he also keeping a watch his sides, moving noisily, for he has so many enemies. The cat has also enemies. Who are the enemies? Here, dogs. Dogs, the enemies of, we know that dogs are the enemies of cat, and small boys, and also not only the dogs but also the small boys with stones. That means small boys often hit the cat with stones. So he becomes very cautious to look if there is any dog or any small boy. Now on the top of the shed, the cat arches his back. Now the cat takes his shelter on the top of a shed and arches his back. Arches, look at the picture of your book, and arches, that means this carved shape. Arches his back and rakes his claws. Rakes means scratches his claws once or twice through the soft bark of the old roof. The roof was old, and the roof becomes old. The materials also, some part of the materials are also rotten, so they become soft. So in that portion, the cat rakes with his claws. He stretches himself a few times to see if every muscle is in full working order. Like us, he stresses his muscles, every muscles, to look if every muscle is in full working order. Then drooping his head, drooping means bending his head nearly to his paws, front paws. He look at the picture, you can see the gesture here. He sends across a call to his kindred. Kindred means kith and kin, relatives and friends. He mews loudly to call his kindreds or friends or his relatives. Before long they come, gliding graceful shadows. No longer are they meek creatures. Now, as it is night, the cat is not a meek. Meek means weak or feeble creature who an hour ago were mewing for fish and milk. An hour ago, that means during the day or at tea table, he was mewing for a small bit of fish or milk. Now they are grim fighters. They are also brave fighters. Just think how much more he gets out of life than and you do out of yours. Suppose here the author emphasizes on the fact that whatever we get to enjoy ourselves, the cat gets lots of things more than us for his enjoyment. And the sports they have also great sports, lot of sports too also. As they get older, as the cat becomes older, and they go in for sport to the suburban backwards. When a cat becomes older, he go far away from the house and he reach the suburban. Suburban is Shahodtoli. Kolkata is the city, but Damdam, Agarpada, they are called the suburban. The suburban and backyards. These backyards are the dull to us. In these places, people generally do not dhapa mat. The people do not go there, but they have more dull to us are them hunting grounds. But these are the hunting grounds of the cats. That means the favorite hunting spot for the cats. And the cat goes to that place wherever they have more gallant adventures. There lot of cats also go and they gather and they have lot of adventures. Now their adventures are compared to the adventures of King Arthur's knights ever had. That means the King Arthur knights had adventure, lot of adventure, but the adventure of the cats greater than the king adventures, the knight's adventure. It is always spoken as a reproach. Reproach means blame. Always is blame, put blame on the cat, that cats they are more fond of their home than of the people in it. It is a general notion or idea that cat is more fond of the house than the people or in it. Naturally, the cat does not like to leave his country. Actually, the cat does not leave the country, leave the house, leave the place where he is now. The land where all his friends are, because in that particular place, the cat has made friendship with lot of other cats, and where he knows every landmark. The cat knows every places in that particular area. So the cat does not leave the place. If his masters shifts from this place to another, if his master shift or go from this place to another, but cat does not leave the place because he has lot of friends there and he also knows every place in that. The geography is well known by the cat in that particular place. Was exiled in new land. Exiled means if a person, Ram was exiled 14 years in the jungle. So it is called exiled when a person is forced to leave his country and live in another place. It is called exiled in a new land. So it will be the exile of a cat if he is bound, if he is forced to leave his present place. He would have to learn a new geography. He has to learn a new geography. He has to know the landmark of that new place. So when the family moves, when the family shifts from the place, the cat, if allowed, if the family does not hold the cat and forcefully take the cat, if the family allows the cat to take his own decision, the cat will stay at the old house. The cat will not leave. He prefers to stay the old house and attach himself to the new tenants. When the new tenants, Notun Bhadatia, when the new tenants will come, he will attach himself, adjust himself with those new members. He will give them the privilege of boarding him. He will give them the privilege, advantage. Privilege means advantage of boarding him while he enjoys life in his way. It does not matter his master leaves the place or new master comes, it does not matter. He only wants to enjoy his life, his food and his adventure at night. Thank you for watching the video. Bye for the day.